What is up? Happy New Year, everyone. All right. We'll jump right on into this. I'm going to be picking 3 winners here for my USB adapter giveaway for the first gen HomePod. These doohickeys are designed to go... let me see if I can grab a HomePod here. They're designed to attach to the bottom of your HomePod and give you USB access to allow you to attempt to restore the software if it ever becomes bricked, unlock other hidden USB functionality like the USB AirPlay, so to speak, that we found. But anyways, I threw a survey out there for you folks and said fill out my survey and I'll give you a chance to win one of 3 colors that I'm selling on my website. We've got the black and the white to match the black and white factory colors, and then a mystery color. This won't be the mystery color that you'll get if you win, and that's the color you picked, but I've got actually a few different filament options. Whoever wins the mystery color will get to pick what they get. So here's what we're gonna do. I've got everybody's responses in a Google Sheet here. We had, let's see, 90 responses. So I think that isn't too bad. I didn't really try too hard to spam everyone everywhere with my giveaway. This was more for people that, are loyal fans that always know everything we're doing and what's going on. So I've got the Google form here with everybody's entry. I've split it up into 3 tabs since we're giving 3 of these away, 1 of each color. We had 52 people pick the black, 23 people pick the mystery color, and 14 pick the white color. So we've got 52 for the black one. I'm gonna go find a random number picker. Minimum 1, maximum 52. And we're going to generate a random number. And we got 11. Who is number 11? Number 11 is... Let's see... That's number 10. This is number 11. We've got Basel. Basel in Canada. You, sir, have won yourself a black HomePod dock. I will shoot you and all the other winners here today an email letting them know, and you will have a week to reach back out to me and let me know that you want it and where I should send it. Otherwise, I'll pick a new winner. Let's move on to the mystery color here. We've got 23 folks that entered for the mystery color. So I'm going to put in 23 in our generator here. And it picked number 23. Okay. Number 23, you are the lucky winner. That would be Cole S. in the United States. Congratulations, Cole. I'll reach out to you after our stream here and make sure you really want this. The last one, we've got white. Let's see, we've got 14 people that entered for the white color. So let's change this to 14 and we'll pick a random number. Wow, 1. I'm kind of suspicious of this random number picker here. But number 1, you are the winner. Number 1 for the white one is Podman22. Very good. Awesome. Well, I want to thank everybody for entering and giving me all of this information. Let's see, we've got a bunch of comments here that people left. I wonder if there's any fun ones here. We've got Merry Christmas. People were looking for tips on syncing audio issues. Let's see. Somebody hopes that Siri gets smart one day. This fellow hopes that one day HomePods will be more open to DIY. That I can fully agree with. We've got a lot of comments of people just saying, thank you, keep up doing the great work. I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Oh, did you know that the colossal squid has a brain shaped like a donut and that their esophagus runs directly through it? This means that they can theoretically eat something so big that it gives them brain damage. Nature is stupid sometimes. Wow. Okay. What is another question, comment, hope, dream, or desire that somebody entered here that's interesting? In my country, there isn't anyone that works on these. Thank you for your videos. That's what we're here for. Awesome. Okay, nothing too crazy or insane here in the suggestions box of the giveaway. All right. So we've got Basel that won the black one in Canada, Cole S in the United States for the mystery one, and Podman 22 for the white one. Pretty good, pretty good. I will shoot you folks emails after our stream here today so you can claim your prize. Otherwise, if you don't reach back out to me within a week, it's going to someone else. Alright. Well, that's not all we're going to be doing here today. Let's get Qixing's HomePod back in here. We're going to pick things back up where we left them off yesterday. Let's see. And we need to let them know that we are wrapping this up here. We started yesterday's stream trying to fix Qixing's HomePod here. And unfortunately, we ended up spending like an hour and a half trying to repair and bring any of our logic boards that we had sitting around back to life. All in vain. We ended up giving up yesterday, not actually having fixed a single thing. But here we are again. I have gotten myself a working logic board. And they have also opted, of course, for the extra hardware maintenance to keep this thing going for as long as possible. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to crack this all the way open the rest of the way. We're going to get to the amplifier where most of the common issues for these HomePods actually happen. And we're going to replace the DC filters that normally go bad and cause death farts. We are going to see if it needs a new Schottky diode to prevent the common no power issue. And then we can't, I'm still waiting on parts from FedEx. They were supposed to deliver everything yesterday and they decided instead that they won't deliver everything until tomorrow. Holiday's understandable, but they caused delays themselves that would have otherwise allowed this stuff to have been delivered perfectly within business hours. And they, I don't like FedEx. But everybody has their least favorite shipping company. It's just who goofs up the hardest for you the most recently. Raj, Mike, iTouch, welcome, welcome, welcome all. Right, you all are all people that are just joining are probably wondering who won. So let's add copy, let's paste a duplicate. We'll put the winners here. We've got Basel, Cole S, and I think it was Podman22 if I'm not mistaken. Those are the winners of our... Yes, that's correct. Of our dock giveaway. If you didn't win, do not worry. I am selling these adapters on my website. It's all a purely manual ordering process. You gotta shoot me an email and say, hey, I want one. I don't got no fancy Shopify or PayPal checkout system or anything like that, so you'll just have to bear with us while we do it all manually and old school. Okay, so right, what are we doing with this HomePod in particular? Well, yesterday we got it in for the blinkies. The blinking volume buttons is all it does. So we used one of our USB docks to attempt a software restore, and that revealed that it was in fact a hardware issue causing its problems. So we tried to repair its logic board. We gave up on it and tried to fix a few other logic boards. And man, we couldn't get anything working for this yesterday, so we just gave up. But we're back at it. I've got ourselves a working logic board that we can get this thing going again with. And they did opt for the extra hardware maintenance that involves us taking it all the way apart and replacing anything and everything that loves to go bad and cause the most common issues. So we're gonna do just that. Here we are, we've got the amplifier. And we're gonna flip this around, and there are our filters. Alright, so we are replacing these first, and we are replacing them at all because these are our DC filters. And with Class D audio amplifiers, your analog AC audio signal is inevitably going to get some DC voltage introduced with it. So what you're supposed to do is filter that. What Apple chose with their design here is to filter them with these 4 ceramic capacitors. And well, unfortunately with ceramic capacitors, they decay over time. Whether they're being used or not, they eventually lose their effectiveness at filtering DC voltage. There's many things you use capacitors for, but for this particular kind of failure that this particular part uses, or that this part experiences, for this particular role, that is not a good failure to have. Because that will introduce all sorts of bass issues. It'll cause death farts. It'll roast the bass speaker. So we don't want to charge people a bunch of money and have their HomePods for so long just to have them get sent back to us for more common and preventable issues, if we can help it. Mike King, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year to you. Welcome back. That top one really wants to get close to those little caps above it. There we go. And what do we have for a Schottky diode? We've got a 26K date code there, so that is nothing to be concerned with. Has the required amount of time elapsed such that I can do this without being demonetized? I believe so. Happy New Year, folks. Got any cool plans coming up? Any of you going anywhere interesting? Buying anything big? Doing anything super risky? Or are we all just planning on sitting back and catching some YouTube videos for the whole year? I don't know about you guys, but I plan on having a whole bunch of stuff to fix up here. I want to get my hands on some crazy stuff to fix. I want to blow up. I want to make it on I want to make it on all the big YouTuber channels. Have them give me a call so I can go over to them and fix their stuff. MKBHD calling me to fix his HomePod. Snazzy Labs calling me to fix up his HomePod. Love him or hate him, they are big names in the tech industry, and I would love to fix their stuff. Show them, because I don't think they even know that these can be fixed still. We're getting close. We've got Mr. Irfan. We're trying to arrange something with him to come over and fix up his bricked HomePod. Irfan with the Big Apple podcast. I can't remember the name. I'm not a podcaster, so I don't listen to podcasts and stuff like that. But he's a big Apple tech podcaster. We just, between the two of us, our schedules have been chaos. We've been trying to arrange this for like the past month, I think. My diode says 748K, worth replacing. If you've got that sucker apart, I mean, is it worth replacing? Let me ask you this: is it worth? Which scenario seems more worth it to you? Would you rather, since you've already got it apart, you're already looking right at the diode, would you rather just replace it now and not have to take the thing back apart again later if it fails, or would you rather take the risk and put it back together and hope that that diode doesn't fail. Now, if you took this thing apart for a no power issue and you've got a 48K data diode and that diode shows that it's shorted, then of course go ahead and replace that. That's your problem. That is guaranteed to be your problem. But if you've found a different issue that you've gotten it working, but it still has a 48K diode, it would behoove you to replace it so you don't have to take it apart again in the future. That said, in general, when that diode fails, it's a pretty isolated failure. It doesn't usually take anything else out with it. So, from my perspective, if somebody has a HomePod that they're, it's working fine now, but they're like, hey, can I pay you to take it apart and replace the stuff that normally fails even though it's working fine now? I'm going to tell them it's not going to cost any more or less, and it's not going to be any more or less time or effort if you take this apart and replace it before it fails or after it fails. So, whether it's worth it, I'm of the mindset that get as much done while you can. But if you don't have the tools and such, and it's a complicated task for you, a risky move, may I say. But yeah, if you're sending the board to me, if it's got one of those diodes on there, it's getting replaced whether it's good or bad still. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can keep the old one if you want. I'll send it back with your repair, and you can keep it like your kid's first tooth. Alright, well that was my last new subwoofer gasket, so until FedEx delivers more of them tomorrow, the rest of these repairs will be halfway done. We'll take them apart, we'll fix them, we'll make sure that they're fixed, but we won't be able to put them back together any farther than before this step. Because I don't want to take them back apart when I get new subwoofer gaskets to replace them. So if the diode failed but the HomePod still doesn't work, where's the problem? I do not understand what you're saying, because if the diode failed, that is why the HomePod doesn't work. If the HomePod doesn't work and it's not because of the diode, then the diode still works. But we've got a few different known issues that cause no power on our website if you're curious. All under the known issues section. Save myself the hassle of butchering the explanation. Or rather, explanations and different causes that that we've seen here over the years. But we've seen one-offs like blown fuses and shorted capacitors on different parts of the boards. More than 9 times out of 10, it's that diode, though. Oh, replacement diode didn't fix it. Well, is the short gone? Like, is there still a short on the board itself? And when you took the old diode off, was the diode shorting? Like, when you took the dead diode off, did it still appear shorted off the board? And did the board also still show a short or not? Those are 2 very important questions. But I mean, otherwise you're just going to have to start looking around components nearby. Obviously, if there's a short there, then something else is amiss in that area. But also missing components, you know, you might have bumped or lost something. Every little bit around that area is pretty critical. But generally, I can only suggest the known issues and such that are on my website, because who knows what else you might have messed up along the way. We don't have eyeballs on your board, unfortunately, so. One of your best bets, though, if you go to the iFixit website, if you go to iFixit's teardown of the first-gen HomePod, they've got really high-quality photos of the amplifier board. And you can get a pretty good comparison to see if you're missing any stuff. Why did that turn on? Now that I have learned how to type, we must learn again. There we go. All right. Gotta text him. I hate texting. Folks, I hate texting. If you text me, I will take my sweet time responding, because I hate it. My phone number is not a front door to my attention whenever you want it, unfortunately. Let's see, Jefferson, okay. Let's see here. Okay, no lights, no power. How much power draw was that? The usual for a dead diode. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, without, well, the first thing, if you have a kilowatt meter, that can help point you in a general direction where the problem is. And this is all assuming that you didn't break something else. If you broke something else, then we're all just wasting our time, and that's why I tend to not spend too much time with people trying to help them diagnose their own repair issues, simply just because we've spent so much time already trying to help people with their repairs and assuming that they didn't make a mistake here or there, when it turns out it was some slip of the screwdriver. And unfortunately, we don't have schematics. It can be quite a rabbit hole. So we gotta kind of figure out, okay, what are the most common things that people mess up? Well, it seems like people tend to tear the ribbon cables the most. They tend to not reconnect things properly. And then there are a couple of little components around the diode that people tend to knock around and lose, sometimes without even noticing. What I will say is about 95 out of every 100 of these no power pods that we get, like, it's incredibly rare for a no power pod repair that we get in to not be that diode and nothing more. So what I'm basically getting at is, chances are, if you've got a no power pod and you replaced it, you confirmed that the diode was shorted, you pulled the diode off, the diode by itself is shorted, there's no more short on the board. When you replace that diode, chances are, if it still doesn't work, you messed something up or you broke something else along the way. But that's not to say that there aren't other causes for no power. They're just extremely rare from our experience. And another thing too to keep in mind, most of our experience is based on HomePods with issues while operating on 110 to 120 volts AC. I can only say that because I had somebody send in a HomePod that wasn't powering on, of course. But to our surprise, as soon as we got it and we plugged it into power, it turned right on, and it appeared to work just fine. And it was kind of starting to stump us. So I said, screw it, let's take it apart and see if there's anything inside. And it was a good thing we did, because we had found on the power supply, this big juicy capacitor right here had exploded and just leaked everywhere and was already halfway through corroding everything. Thankfully we got to it in time, but it was so strange that it wouldn't turn on at all for them, and it would turn on for us with all this damage. And we eventually realized the reason why was because they were on 220 volt AC power and we were on 110 volt AC power, or 120 volt. So the part of the power supply that handles the 220 must have been what failed, and the 120 must be separate enough from the power supply to still work when when I plug it in on my American Power. So, but I mean, that was a really obvious failure. Like, as soon as I got it open, I saw capacitor juice all over the insides, and that capacitor was clearly bulging and had exploded. A thermal camera is going to be your best friend. If you don't have a thermal camera, or at least like some spare flux to spread around the board and see what's getting hot and vaporizing the flux, those are two common tricks to find other shorts on the board. But what I'm getting at is, if you've got no power, then you're likely looking for some kind of obvious physical damage or failure, or a short somewhere. And shorts will usually show as a hot spot with a multimeter, or with a thermal camera, and at the very least melt, if not vaporize, flux as soon as you put it over that component. You've seen plenty of YouTubers demonstrate how to do it, so we're not the first. But still, almost every time it's that diode. And then almost every time somebody messes this up, it's one of those things. They didn't connect something properly, they damaged something and didn't notice, or something's they well, damage is part of it, but they might have bumped something and not noticed. Especially that capacitor right next to the diode. Steezy, what is up? What is up? All right. Let's get those filters replaced first. Yes, and Happy New Year to you too. We're off to an okay start so far. Oh, unfortunately the giveaway ended as of about 30 minutes ago. But I will do more. Do not worry. You might not want to wait for it though. Ooh, it's getting windy. Yeah, my apologies. But as a consolation prize to everyone else who entered, and as a thanks to you all, I will be publishing my the files for my docs. I've already published the V1 adapter, but I've been keeping this one to myself until I had until I got at least a little bit of money back out of it. But I will be pushing those files to my GitHub as well. I've already got the V1 adapter and a table stand for it up there. Which V1 did you print? Out of curiosity, Mr. King, did you print out the older V1 like this, or did you print out my newer V1 that has the full circle with the tabs? I'm curious because this one had the holes were misaligned a little bit still. I had a few more things to tweak, and this just ended up working way better. Big props too to Timstar. If it wasn't for his original adapter design, who knows what we would have come up, if anything. And if we would even have a fix for the software bricked ones too. Oh, that reminds me, I need to send him another cut of the adapter sales, because I did promise him that I would give him a percentage of all of the adapters I sold, since it is at the very base. It was his design. All I did was fix a few problems with it, and then with the V2 I added the whole body. Which, to be fair, I'm not very good at it, but it did take me some effort. Some tears were shed. Some words were cursed. Yeah, both of these I called the V1, but this is the early V1 and this is the late V1. And this is the V2 with the full body and the dock ability. The mystery color will be a choice between, what do I have? I've got a multicolor. And the multicolor prints kind of like that. So that's one of the options. And then I've also got a couple of different glow-in-the-dark ones. And then I've got a I got a thermal one. One that goes from purple to red. Oh, I think this is the color of it actually. Let me see if it changes here. Yeah, that's it. So that's one of the options. Oh, and I've also got one. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this. If I can find. Oh, sweet. Perfect. This one is UV reactive. So it turns this purple. And oh man, this is so cool. You take it out in the sunlight and it just like washes over. It is so cool. These filaments are really neat, but I find that they are slightly more brittle, a little less tough, kind of cheaper feeling than the more generic colors of from the bigger brand names. Polymaker makes some great stuff. I love me some Polymaker plastic, man. Creality makes really good plastic too. One good tip that I saw that seems to work really well is try the brand filament from your printer's manufacturer. So I've got an Ender 3. So I just bought some generic Creality black and white PLA, and oh, that stuff, I have never actually had filament print nicer than this just cheap Creality black and white filament. And I think they are right in that it must be because that they just tend to formulate their stuff to work best with their own printers. That makes sense to me. But I don't know. I also only have an Ender 3, so that's all the experience I've got. Okay. This is as far as we can put it together until I get more parts in tomorrow. But we can at least see if it works now. Yes, we've got power. Oh, I love watching Void Star Labs and his all of his filament like compilation videos. Good stuff.
I'm having trouble connecting to the.
All right. For most intents, this is fixed. Of course, we are at the mercy of FedEx delivering our parts to wrap this up. But we'll put this all to the side here for now. And we'll take a look at one more here. That would be coal. Another bricked HomePod. Why would I curse myself like this? Coal 211. Is this the same coal that won one of our adapters? That would be hilarious. Number 211. Is it? Is it actually? Let me double check this. That is the same coal. It is. Congratulations, Cole. Your HomePod is not only up for fixing next here. That is absolutely hilarious. They also won one of these adapters. Let's shoot them a message. All right. Cole has been notified. Let's fact check their issue here, make sure it is actually bricked. Cole made it. Welcome, welcome. And congratulations. You won the mystery colored dock. I think everybody here is probably dying to know which color that mystery one you'll pick will be. You probably joined in right after I was telling people the options, but we've got a purple that reacts with heat to this light pink. And then we've got a clear / white that turns purple with UV. So if you take it out in the sun, or if you've got any sun coming through the window, it'll turn pink. And then I've got a few other colors, but I'll let you know all of your options. And heck, I'll even ship the thing back with your HomePod here after we get it fixed up. So speaking of which, we've got the blinkies here. Let's go ahead and dock it up. and there we go. We've got our top here to keep our plastic there from getting all scratched up as we wiggle it around on our desk. Let's screw this down. And let's cross our fingers for Cole here. They seem like they've got some pretty good luck so far here. Let's see if it can keep going. Cole, you were the last person to enter to pick the mystery color, believe it or not. So that is some crazy luck there. Let's see. We're going to plug our USB cable into our HomePod. We're going to pull up the terminal. All right. Let's see. Will it be saved? Let's run Gaster Pwn. Gaster reset. iDevice restore. Fingers crossed, hardware issues usually cause this to error out rather quickly, but oh, yeah, well, there you go. Unable to place device into recovery mode. Possibly invalid IBEC. And I'm 90% positive. Let me double check my guide on GitHub here. Is possibly invalid IBEC mentioned? Yeah. We're gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna restart my computer too, just to be sure. Because there's that extra DFU device showing up in my Apple configurator. I have no idea what that is. GZGZ, welcome. Do I think the Gen 2 doesn't break as easily as the Gen 1? I'm not sure. I can't say anything for sure. My gut feeling is unfortunately starting to lean towards the second gens being less reliable, just because of all of the touch issues that I've been hearing from everybody, and how unfixable those touch issues are. Despite the issues that the first gen has, at the very least, most of those issues can be fixed with off-the-shelf replacement parts. The second gen, the most common issue is a touch issue that requires another touch panel, and you can't just buy touch panels. So from that perspective, I don't like the looks of the second gen in terms of reliability. On the flip side, we haven't heard of nearly as many complaints about it. Other issues like no power, death farts, Wi-Fi and sync issues, other things. So, let's try this one more time here. I'm gonna pull up my configurator. I'm gonna plug in my USB cable. We're gonna try Gaster Pwn. Gas to reset. iDevice restore. Nah, same thing. Possibly invalid iBack. So this unfortunately has some kind of hardware issue. Dock or no dock. This one is not coming back from the dead without more involved repairs. And unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of time here today to fix a whole bunch. It was more just pick some winners and pick apart a few pods while we're at it. So we will be back tomorrow to continue these repairs. We'll get a logic board ready for Cole's HomePod here, since I have a feeling we won't be able to even fix this one if we tried. And we've got more subwoofer gaskets showing up, so we'll be able to finally fix everybody that's been waiting here for the past few days. So I do apologize for the delays and the inconvenience these past few days, and well, heck, even the past few weeks have been insanely busy here, like the busiest we have ever been since starting this like 3 years ago. So it's one heck of a time to try to take it slow and take it easy and spend some time with my family is when it ends up being the busiest. So but we're getting through it. So I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I will catch you all hopefully in the